Latin America is preparing for a revolution in clean energy, and hydrogen could be its most valuable ticket to global relevance in the energy transition. With over 200 projects already announced, the region is becoming one of the world's hydrogen hotspots. But is it ready to deliver? Hydrogen, especially green hydrogen produced using renewable energy, is essential for decarbonising hard-to-abate sectors like shipping, steel making, and aviation. Latin America has a unique competitive edge, but due to a series of important factors, sorry, we're gonna have to start again.
No problem.
All right. Latin America is preparing for a revolution in clean energy, and hydrogen could be its most valuable ticket to global relevance in the energy transition. With over 200 projects already announced, the region is becoming one of the world's hydrogen hotspots. But is it ready to deliver? Hydrogen, especially green hydrogen produced using renewable energy, is essential for decarbonising hard-to-abate sectors like shipping, steel making, and aviation. Latin America has a unique competitive edge due to a series of important factors. One of these is the abundance of renewable energy resources. Enormous potential for electricity generation from wind, solar, and hydropower mean the region has some of the world's lowest potential hydrogen production costs, under $1 per kilogram in the best cases. Latin America and Caribbean nations also benefit from strategic geographical advantages. Access to both Atlantic and Pacific ports provide them with direct routes to major export markets in the US, Europe, and Asia. These factors and growing interest from local industries, particularly from refiners and fertilizer producers, have spawned a growing list of projects with combined potential investments of over $120 billion across 7 countries, led by Chile, Brazil, Uruguay, and Paraguay. Let's zoom in on the front runners. Brazil has over 60 announced projects worth $36.6 billion US. The scale of these developments is massive, and one barrier that must be overcome is the high initial production costs that threaten short-term viability. Projects like Fortescue's $3.4 billion complex in Ceará show long-term ambition, even if infrastructure and competitiveness remain key hurdles. With more than 70 projects, Chile is the region's hydrogen poster child. Projects such as HIF's Cabo Negro and AES Andes' $10 billion inner complex aim to position Chile as a major green fuels exporter. Risks include water availability and permitting delays. Punching above its weight is Uruguay, with the $6 billion Paysandú project and a solid hydrogen roadmap. The country offers stable governance and low emission intensity, but must scale fast to stay competitive. Elsewhere in the region, Colombia has 49 projects. Ecopetrol's Cartagena refinery initiative is set to be Latin America's largest green hydrogen plant, with capacity to produce 800 tons a year. Colombia has a solid roadmap, but political uncertainty lingers. Argentina is quickly emerging as an important hydrogen player, led by the $8.4 billion Pampas complex. Delays in legislation and macroeconomic volatility, however, could slow progress. Paraguay is implementing a smart strategy using surplus volumes of hydroelectricity. Atome's Villeta project is a model for small country leadership in green fuels. Despite its immense potential, Mexico has thus far seen limited action on the clean hydrogen front. The country has over $20 billion in planned clean hydrogen investments, but the absence of a hydrogen roadmap or coordinated energy policy is a major gap. Despite strong fundamentals, there are major risks the region must tackle. One is a lack of regulation. Most countries have no hydrogen laws, creating uncertainty for investors. Permitting processes are slow and fragmented. Only Chile, Colombia, and Uruguay have fully fledged hydrogen roadmaps. Another hurdle is insufficient infrastructure. Hydrogen needs ports, pipelines, desalination plants, and energy transmission, among other developments, to flourish. Many countries currently lack the infrastructure to be able to successfully scale exports. As we previously mentioned, a major challenge facing the sector is cost competitiveness. Hydrogen is still more expensive than fossil alternatives. Long-term purchase agreements and subsidies are needed to close the gap. It would be remiss not to mention social and environmental concerns. Projects in areas like the Atacama Desert or the Amazon may face indigenous opposition, water scarcity, or land use disputes. Community buy-in and responsible water use are essential. Finally, there is the matter of investor hesitancy. Without firm demand signals like offtake agreements, local blending mandates, or export guarantees, many projects could stall. To seize the hydrogen opportunity, governments and companies must act on three fronts. First, there is a need to create clear and efficient legal frameworks that fast-track permitting, clarify land use, and define hydrogen classifications that recognize differences between the green, blue, and white varieties. Second, investment in infrastructure must be a priority. This includes dual-use ports, green ammonia terminals, and power grid expansion works. Public-private partnerships are crucial. Last but not least is a requirement to secure demand. There must be incentives for local offtake, including transport operators and fertilizer producers, and for exports. Contracts should be de-risked with sovereign guarantees. Countries with coherent strategies like Uruguay and Chile are already attracting serious capital. Those without clear roadmaps risk being left behind. Latin America's hydrogen future is full of promise, but success depends on turning vision into action. With smart policy, transparent governance, and regional collaboration, Latin America could become a top 3 global hydrogen exporter. But without it, these billions of dollars in announcement may remain just that, announcements. That's all we have time for today. You can find out more about green hydrogen and other developments across Latin America's key business segments on the BNamericas website and mobile app. For now, thank you and goodbye.